Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. I thought I'd make a video going through the 5 top enlisted tips that I can give you as a person who's been playing this game since CBT and currently has the majority of levels in both OBT campaigns for both sets of armies. I thought why not share some knowledge. So in this video we're going to go through my 5 top tips, and then in future ones we'll have a look at some advanced ideas when it comes to how to play specific maps. The first tip and main tip is you should put an engineer in every squad that is available. The reason for this is because engineers aren't just good on the defense, being able to create barbed wire, sandbags, and also anti-tank traps. They are actually predominantly useful on the offense, and the main reason is because they get access to an ability that can really enhance your whole team, and that is the ability to build a rally point. A rally point basically means that your team doesn't have to spawn in the initial spawn area. It can spawn much closer to where the battle is actually happening, and this means that they can get into the action quicker. This is massively useful on invasion maps because it means that you spawn closer to the capture point. Therefore, you can either defend or be on the offensive and get to the action as soon as possible. Generally, you can actually place a rally point around about 40 meters away from the points themselves. This means that you can easily get into the action quickly and get your squad moving. A lot of the time in Enlisted, it is about high octane, high aggressive action, and the way to make it so you are doing that more is by building a rally point. So by having an engineer in every squad, you're able to do this. Another nice little thing that I like to do with the engineers on conquest maps is actually go and send my squad to what I class as the safe cap for the team. Since there is normally 3 caps on conquest maps, one of them will be easier to defend for your side, especially at the start of the battle, and then take my engineer and actually go and plant a spawn beacon or a rally point in the center of the map. So once my team starts losing squads, they can then spawn into the action straight away. It gives your team a massive advantage and should be used a lot. The next one is when upgrading your squads in the squad upgrade screen. The best thing to go for first is to get the crew XP and also the extra squadron members. The basic reason for this is because it means that your squad will actually get experience faster, therefore it will be easier to unlock the other stuff that is in the squad. So basically stuff like engineers, assaulters, and also sharpshooters or snipers. So it just means that you can get your squads much quicker up to their full potential instead of being sat there and struggling even though you have a specialized unit. There are some exceptions to this rule. One of them is for the radio squad or the radio operator or radio man squad, and the reason why is because you get a cooldown reduction on your call-in of artilleries by 8 times, making it 30 seconds. So you should definitely prioritize that one while also getting the XP upgrades and the extra members. Also, the Engineer 2, the MG nest, should also be prioritized, but generally the rule stays safe, where you should go for the crew XP and the extra squad members. The other reason to get the extra squad members as well is because it gives you more men on the battlefield, so therefore you can do more with them. It also makes it easier for you to rank up your men because of the fact that you have more of them in battle. They can get their stars quicker, and therefore you can get better soldiers at a faster pace. You should also save your orders for weaponry and also troops reinforcements until you hit specific levels in the campaign. For example, when it comes to the allies in the Battle of Moscow, there are certain key points where you can actually get some really cool weapons instead of filling your inventory up full of stuff such as TOSs, which are fun but not exactly the best. When it comes to key points, stuff like the PPD 3438 with the drum mag at level 11, if you have a ton of orders for weaponry saved up in the bronze, you can then drop them all at once. This means that you can also get access to the Madsen and then other key stuff. The Winchester as well is another one to look for in this regard. There are weapons all along the campaign levels where if you save a bunch of weapon orders and then get to that point, you can get a bunch of them at once, meaning that you get a massive upgrade to your squads. When it comes to personnel as well, when you unlock specific soldiers, which you think are very useful, e.g. the Trooper 2s, which are better than the Trooper 1s, because of the fact that they get a much better passive ability, where the Trooper 2s get the 5.3% sprint speed, where a Trooper 1 only gets the 10.5% speed of decreasing shot spread after quick turning of the firearm. This means that you can get a bunch of these at the same time. You can also filter them through your squads because they are generic troopers, and it means that you can use them everywhere. So generally, instead of just using your orders for weaponry as you get them and orders for troops as you get them, you should save them up and wait until key points in the campaign and then use them all to be able to get the desired effect. This does mean that you will have a few points during the campaign where it will be a little bit rough to get through it because you don't necessarily have the weaponry, but understand it's a short-term loss and a long-term gain. Tip 4 is to actually follow the battle tasks to inform your play instead of the campaigns themselves. The reason for this is because you get battle pass stuff from the battle tasks, and also right now you get orders for weaponry and also orders for troops. One thing to mention though is this is changing in the near future, where you won't be able to get the orders for weaponry and troops from the battle tasks. Instead, they're going to be based on an XP system, but still you are able to focus on getting stuff out of the battle pass. At the same time, this does mean that you will play a bunch of the different campaigns, so instead of being a master of one, you will be a jack of all trades. You'll be able to try different campaigns, you'll be able to try different armies, and you will understand the strengths and weaknesses of what you're coming up against and what you are playing as. This is incredibly important in a game which is just a one-on-one scenario, knowing the other side of the campaign, meaning that you know what to fight, you know how to fight it, and you know how to beat it. These are the key concepts when it comes to PvP, not just understanding what you're good at, but also understanding what the enemy is good at and trying to avoid it, and also the enemy's weaknesses and trying to exploit them. The last tip is because of how Enlisted is designed, dying has really no penalty. When it comes to dying in Enlisted, all you basically do is just spawn in another squad. You don't have to worry about repair costs, you don't have to worry about timers, you don't have to worry about anything like that. So because of this fact, dying over and over again doesn't really matter. It just means that you can get more squads in the battle. The only time it does matter is in Conquest, where you do get a maximum spawn of 10 squadrons, and once you are out of those squads, then, well, you're out of the battle. But normally Conquest battles don't go long enough for you to actually utilize those 10 squadrons, even if you are playing hyper-aggressively. So playing aggressive, playing objective-based, trying to capture zones, trying to get people off of zones is always the way forward. If you see that you are losing a ton of squads, but are getting the objectives done and getting a lot of kills, don't worry, you're doing your team a service. Sitting at the back of the map or camping with one sniper, not really doing anything apart from picking off a few people, may be quite enjoyable because you are safe in your area and you're never going to die, but at the same time, you are not doing anything for your team. Pushing, being aggressive, getting out there and pushing either the enemy back or pushing your team forward will always be the correct way to play Enlisted. Whether you are in a tank, whether you are in an infantry member, or whether you are even in an aircraft trying to take out the enemies in their area of spawn. So play aggressive, don't worry about dying, get involved in the fight, get those rally points up, and get moving forward. I hope you all have a wonderful day. and I'll see you next time. I'd like to thank BRFC, Swollen Ostrich, Teddy, John Ryman, Universe, Conte Baraka, Eugens Terry, Ambrosius McClellan, Daniel Stanton, Martinez, B. Young, Lafouche, Barine, and Samuel Schlick for supporting the channel.